Morgana DPS is going to end up stacking up. I could see it being decent, but also not high at the same time.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, I think like if you can lock someone in place long enough,
at least that you're willing to bring these picks out. Oh,
hook onto Vladdy.
That's a lot of CC.
Going out. There's a Soul Shackles as well. Vladdy has no recourse to escape. First blood to Vitality. Not sure Linces was even needed.
Great pick from Vitality on the...
as Casey just chooses to
Fleshy
leave.
looks for the
Beautiful hook from Fleshy.
Black Shield down there as well. The Dark Binding's only going to hit onto Targamas, who doesn't have his flash, remember. Depth charge out as well, as Fleshy's already hit 6. They're chasing onto the cow. Another Dark Binding for the follow-up. Keeper's Verdict out. Linces will come in. Yike cancelled the Keeper's Verdict. Doesn't get the knockback. Cards coming in from the side as well. Doesn't have that chain of corruption though. So in the end, Yike and Vladdy should just be able to win. She can absolutely rip through Vitality, but for the moment, Vitality definitely coming out on top. Kana though! We talked about
this top side. Morgana clears this out so quickly, and it looks like KC don't want to overcommit.
Just to avoid all of that CC.
KC are shifting Kana up towards this top side, so it looks like going to be a big 5v5 as Morgana TP's in as well.
Oh, Weaver's Wall coming out. Fleshy with the Dredge Line, Death Charge hook. That's Chain of Corruption follow-up. Kalista still has the cleanse. Linces flashes over the Weaver's Wall. Meanwhile, Targamas rooted up in the middle of the play. Fleshy getting chased down by Kalist. He will fall first. The Equalizer ticking on Targamas, and it roasts that beef. Follow-up though from Kazi onto Kana, just trying to CC him down in the end.
That was like a betrayal of Linces that he would go to Vitality. Yeah, it's now Fleshy.
Death Charge onto Yike. Weaver's Wall's going to separate Linces from the team, and now he's on the wrong side of dodge. Does manage to get the damage down, and the follow-up on Targamas is enough. I thought Linces was the one caught out, but in the end, it's Targa just a little too deep.
I think KC were hoping to find a quick pick, assuming Knuckle with a TP advantage would go into that top side, and trying to make a very quick play, ends up burning them, as Vitality managed to turn it around.
And this Black Shield just has so much value here, as even when Linces goes a bit too deep, Morgana just puts the Black Shield on, but Knuckle here went for probably a bit too much.
Yeah, tries to kill off Yike, Equalizer down, he still gets him. Knuckle will fall for it. Kalist gets 360 gold in his pocket.
These big fights where you can hit onto multiple people.
I mean, the thing is, if I can try to justify his logic, it's kind of like Vitality as a
Chayek trying to survive himself has put down the Black Shield already. Targamas dodges away Soul Siphon, there's a flash knockback, and Chayek's on the wrong side of the rift. He'll be taken out. It's a tower exchange for a tower and a kill in favor of KC.
And the TP now from Kana to get in on out of there. That's going to be the Anakan start. KC with a great turnaround on the cross map.
And beautifully played by Targamas there to set up his team for success. But you have to criticize Chayek a little bit. He's staying around on the weak side. The tower is 50 HP. It's not really a real tower. And that's going to lead to Atakan for KC. And kind of a comeback for them.
Yeah, that first neutral objective of the game. Survive. KC will start it. Knuckle now TPing to the bot side, as KC already have the Dragon down to 4,000 HP. As you say, Jack, it is just too late. The Drake secured. Vitality will look for the fight. Targum is immediately jumping onto Knuckle. He tries to flash the wall, but he can't escape. Equalizer down. Won't do much. Kana keeping the rest of Vitality at bay. Exhausted, rooted, chained, everything, but they just don't have the damage to work their way through here. Double onslaught for the follow-up. Good Black Shield there, but the follow-up onto Fleshy with a seismic jump. He hooks back in! Immediately into his death. Linces has to flash away. KC.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while, especially Blackfire Torch Rylai's. Right?
Yeah.
That is not the highest DPS build in the world. As Targamas is going to find a pick here. Weaver's Wall coming in as well as they look for Knuckle. The Equalizer down, but he's locked against the wall. Redemption coming out as well, but it won't be Knuckle's savior. Targamas takes it with the Redemption, and Baron immediately begun by KC.
Vitality going to have to try and get in here. At least the pool should be doing some good work when it's in this Baron pit. But KC can just turn and burn if they want to.
Yeah, with those verdict gets knocked out. Yike's going to take a lot of damage from the Baron here. Chain of Corruption is going to hit as well. Siphon's shot back onto Fleshy. Soul Siphon only going to hit onto Kana. And Kazi's trying to put the damage down that he can. Piercing arrow through Targamas will be enough. Kana getting chunked out. Linces on the chase. The hail of arrows not enough. Kana so low, a double in the end. For Kazi, Kalist tries to turn it around but can't transcend high enough to make the fight go KC's way.
The pools from Chayek were insane in that fight. They managed to hook on towards Yike in the pits. He's getting damage from the Baron and from Chayek, which forces him out of the fight. He then gets the setup on towards Targamas as well, and on towards Kana. Chayek's Morgana was huge in that engagement.
And now it's Vitality starting off the Nash here as KC are out of position. They don't have the highest Nash damage, however, as KC are gonna be able to join.
Yike's are way away though. Maybe they can just sneak it before Yike gets there. Linces with the black shield, surviving through it. Baron secured. Kalist dashing forward with the Kanmei steps. Linces will sacrifice himself and almost takes Kalist down in the process. Vitality sets
Then you end up taking the rest of the fight, but watch again, another shot on towards Yike takes him out of the fight. Now you end up in a situation where you can continue to play these fights incredibly slow. Kana is trying to step up to be the front line, but Kalist can't really step forward with how much damage Vitality have from both Chayek and from Parzi. And again, the pulls on these bindings are doing so much work.
Yeah, I'm really surprised as they have enough damage to take down the Scion on now with the Baron Nasher. They're going to be able to get tier 2 mid, tier 2 top, as KC are actually looking to try to trade for tier 2 bot.
Hook, Weaver's Wall coming out. There's a knockback onto Flashy. Double death charge, but it's not going to be enough. Flashy just on the wrong side of the wall. And as you say,
composition work because they don't have enough burst and they don't have enough sustained damage if the fight is just
Polyandries and the Bloodletter's Curse. On the other side, 3 items for Vladdy. He's gone for the Void Staff, 4 already on Kalist. He is incredibly strong. KC will take 2 towers out of this push, and Vitality won't answer. Eventually a trade between those 2 neutrals, or we might see one team just taking 2 after winning the fight. Perhaps slightly more likely as Kana steps up into the face of Karzi. Chayek looking for the flank position here. Hook between the uprights there from Flesh, and I think maybe he's a little bit glad that that one didn't connect.
I do like the idea from Vitality though, just fish for a binding or a hook or something that can follow up, but here we go.
Corruption, Death Charge coming out as well. There's the Equalizer on top of it. Redemption healing up Yike, Keeper's Verdict will knock back one. Fleshy surviving through it. The Crypt Bloom's going to heal him up alongside that Redemption. Kana's still on that front line, but he's going to be hooked up. Grand Starfall in by Linces. He was knocked away with the Keeper's Verdict. Yike having to flash out. Kana locked up. He doesn't get the chance to move away. Kalist flash forward and was met with the anchor of the Nautilus. He still gets the kill. Linces dives in. Vladdy goes golden, but he's only getting silver this game. Vitality find the fight. Yike looking. Oh my God! The buckler from beyond for KC. Perhaps saving the game for Carmine Corp.
What is this game? Vitality feels like they're doing the impossible here. They're playing it so slow, so precise. Fleshy just getting hook after hook after hook. When
After Kana uses ultimate and just walked on out. Like, it's so difficult if Vitality are playing these fights correctly. And honestly, I didn't think they had it in them, but Vitality are making it work.
Oh, Equalizer down, Chain of Corruption was Kana as well. There's Redemption, but he's already dead before it finds the floor. Kana down into that zombie mode again. Vitality find a pick. And now KC have to fight 4v5 around the Baron pit.
And how do you try and get it back? Access to this. Targamas kind of has to be the one. But if you walk in, we've just seen what happened to a man who has significantly more health than you do than the cow.
And crucially there, Vladdy as well got completely chunked out. So it's nearly a 3v5.
Oh, the turn onto Yike. They'll get him rooted up, and they stun him in the middle of the Keeper's Verdict. He's going to go down. That's the Jungler dead now. But Carmine Corp Vitality living up to their name, giving their fans a breath of hope early on in this series as they will get the Baron. KC going to walk down towards that bottom side trying to find something in the bot side jungle. Not going to find anything. Vitality fighting back as they go ahead.
That would be a great Nash for them. But maybe they'll just fight.
Definitely would be. As we see, Scrim's not going as well. Is there unease?
Well, for GX, I think they got slapped by Vitality that day in Scrim.
I mean, that also could be the reason. Chain of Corruption down onto Kana. No follow-up CC from Vitality. They're trying to push in with this Baron buff. Still have a minute 20 on it. So far, I've got about 700 gold in excess of the 1.5k you get for just taking it.
I like the way Vitality set up though. Lince is pushing in mid, matching that semi-global from Vladdy, so you've always got this quick access to the spot lane if you need it, but KC going mid.
Gonna go on to Lince, Seismic Shove already used. Lince does have his flash and will use it to jump across. Meanwhile on the bot side, Kana's trying to keep that knuckle Starfall away by Lince, dies mid-air.
He can never
fight very quickly, and yeah, KC are just gonna be able to take this one away. Vitality, no interest in contesting without their jungler.
And this game is going the distance
for a moment.
You've great wave clear on KC, so if Vitality just kind of forced to bonk heads against them here, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult. They're fishing for some decent poke though.
Yeah, looking for a bit of poke. Redemption out, Keeper's Verdict knocks Fleshy back, but he came back with a vengeance. The hook was baited, and Yike took the bait. Karna now having to try and escape. Already, Yike and Targamas down. Karna flashing away from the dark binding. The tower will be forfeit. Vitality get 2 and a turret.
First verdict, crucially there, was really surprising and able to live as well. Looks for the hook on Vladdy.
When you're Nautilus in this position and you're ahead and you can also have the black shield on you at any time, you are going in at every possible moment. Chain of Corruption came out from Kazi. They're looking for the damage onto Vladdy. Another hook hitting only onto Karna, decimating smash out. Equalizer! Enough to snipe off Vladdy. And now KC 2 men down for the next 10 seconds. Vladdy a minute away from respawning.
The soul of Linces came down in that comment to finish off the very low health members of KC and Vitality. They've cracked open the base. Vitality, who are just doing this constant conga line in and out of these fights and swapping health packs.
There is the first. We have seen that bite him.
I mean, if he gets Nautilus ulted there, neither of those are going to save him.
That's very true. As he heals up off the wave, Vitality looking to crack the 3rd inhibitor tower of the game. Naknako, there's Karna charging in. Black Shield once again onto Fleshy. Good knockback with the Keeper's Verdict. Vitality fighting a 4v5, but look at the equalizer damage onto Vladdy. Redemption already haven't come down. Karna's locked up on the front line. Naknako pops a stopwatch, but he might just go pop immediately afterwards. Scrap Shield Redemption. Not down in time. 1-for-1 so far. The exchange for the top lane is dead. As Karna uses his zombie form to force Vitality a little bit further away. Vladdy still eating a world of hurt here as the dive comes in from Linces. One cannon minion about to fall. The second stands for a second, but KC still hold on to their bot side base.
But the dragon is up and available. Vitality are just walking back to try and pick up Soul. KC need to commit without a tank, and Vladdy has to try and get out of base. But look at their Nexus turrets, they're under siege.
Vitality are just trying to buy time as they get
Chain of Corruption onto Targamas immediately. I love that. I love that. Just wait in a bush. A little ambush coming out of that bot lane try. Vitality find the cow. And they're looking to find the soul alongside it. Yike. He can't get into the pit. Fleshy here acting as a bouncer. There's the soul.
To clear out these waves.
Keeper's Verdict. Trying to hold for that black shield. It is cancelled, as you say. Inhibitor tower down for Vitality. Binding's going to land. There's Chain of Corruption follow-up on Karna again. Chunked out before he can really get into the battle. We'll be able to heal a bit of that back up as Yike, the next target for Vitality. They don't have the Chain of Corruption, but they do have plenty of other tools at their disposal to lock someone down. Naknako flashes away a great black shield onto him, avoiding the stun. He escapes and Yike falls. Karna chasing forward. Decimating Smash not going to do too much. Targamas and Kalist eat an arrow through their backs though, and they're both down to half HP. The inhibitor will fall. Naknako with the equalizer. Not the best positioning as all of KC are able to retreat to the bounty. Targamas sprinting out, trying to stop his Nexus towers from falling. Chain of Corruption going between the uprights there, and Targamas and Kalist were able to dodge it. Linces falling low. The Aegis Assault not enough to keep him alive. And Kalist begins to open up. He's transcended, and he looks for Naknako and the Mercurial Scimitar enough to cleanse away the CC. Kazi's going to die to Vladdy. Naknako's going to go down to Kalist. Only Fleshy and Shayak left alive. The binding dodged by Targamas. Vitality need to extricate themselves from this situation. Otherwise, KC might just march down mid.
But Shayak finds the binding.
Oh, great hook into binding. Fleshy, though, now looking for more soul shackles coming out. Gonna land the stun. Shayak kills him. Shayak gets the root. Decimating Smackdown. There's the black shield to avoid the knockup. Vladdy comes in, though, and in the end, Karna will secure the kill. An ace for KC, but it cost them so damn much.
And finally, when I thought Vitality, as Linces goes a bit too deep, he gets comboed, he ends up going down, and then the rest of Vitality are left wandering, and KC...
Linces is coming for this. Oh, he's not going to gain range. Okay. I saw him. Targamas bound. Chain of Corruption with the follow-up. He's going to use the redemption on himself, but he's already chunked down to about half HP. Another Dark Binding just wide of Karna. Weaver's War going to split the team up here as Naknako is not with them. A good Keeper's Verdict. Shayak uses that stopwatch. They're going to get the CC chain onto Karna, but there's no follow-up damage from Kazi. A good hook onto Yike, though, means that it's going to be jungler for jungler exchange. Targamas diving onto Naknako. The rest of Vitality diving in. Linces first one. Kalist, oh my God! He's put on a spit and roasted! Naknako finding the vital kill as now they die for Vladdy. And I don't think this Talia has a way out of here apart from just running for the hills. Lynx is still chasing. Seismic through that inhibitor in the mid lane. Perhaps their first target. They need the minions to help them out. Vladdy's going to try and cut off this wave. Try and clear it any way he can. As Vitality continue to push in. Chain of Corruption lands. Oh, Vladdy's a goner. He's done for. He buys himself a second, but all he can do is watch as his team is still dead. He is dead, and Vitality go 1-0 up in the series. If you want someone that pilots Bard well, Targamas is a good choice. 10-2 on the champion all time, but he was also 10-1 this year on the Alistar, I believe. And
someone was 7-1 on Bye, right? It's about getting that level 6 and how well can you punish
Flash Shadowing Strike into the taunt, the follow-up from Linces with the knock-up, and once again, it's Vladdy who falls first.
So he ends up actually finishing the Drake after all 3 grubs have been taken.
A lot of plays from KC in the early stages.
I mean, the thing with Vitality's comp, Shayak might be in trouble here.
Decoy in from Yike, doesn't land the taunt. Shockwave back onto Shayak, Winds of War. Their Winds of Despair for the Galio. KC will get on the board, their first kill of the game. Goes here, really. Shayak could look for an engage. Fleshy coming in, looking for that Magnet Storm as well, but isn't going to find it. A nice little magical journey back to the safety of their dodges away from the second Q. Winds of War, again a magical journey, and immediately Shayak realizes he is outnumbered. Tempered Fate will lock him up. The Cyclone got the knock up as well. Shayak trying to flash Justice Punch, jumped in front of by Yike. Linces dives in. Kazi's a long way away. In the end, a Drake for Herald exchange, kind of. Targamas with another Cosmic Binding. He's more of a nuisance than anything right now. He gets the magical journey out. It's taunted at the end of it. Kazi diving forward. Look for Targamas. Redemption already complete for him. He flashes out of the redemption and takes the shot from Kazi. And 3 biscuits in case he ever does fall.
Rift Herald.
He's got the Rift Herald as well as Naknako is caught out with the public execution. Redemption coming down as well to try and heal him up. Fletchy here to help. The Cyclone down from Yike gets the knockup. Shadowing Strike does not connect. Naknako healing up with the Sunder Sky, but it's not enough. Used 2 of his biscuits and he was not K. Fletchy getting chased out by Targamas. KC get their 3rd on the board, complete the beach.
I think Vitality just have to drop it as Yike engages immediately onto Fleshy.
Cyclone, there's the Shockwave follow-up and Fleshy is just dead. Nothing a Rel can do in that sort of situation. So much credit to Yike through this early game. 3-0-1 has been involved in every one of his team's kills. He's been everywhere with that Cyclone. Targamas doing a great job with the vision control as well.
Yeah, the wards are definitely a big MVP for KC this game, as they've been spotting out Linces consistently and able to just have Yike take over the game, as they now get 2 dragons and continue being the one that are always in control.
And when you're a dive comp that's this far behind, the game becomes very difficult to play as they look for Yike.
And they catch him out. Redemption coming down. Doesn't get pulled back with the Infernal Chains, but Kazi dives in immediately, and they go for Kalista instead. He tries to balk away, but he's hit with a Praise Seeker. Targamas takes a journey, a short trip across the wall. No return ticket for him. Vitality kill off the enemy AD carry, and with it, look like they're going to take this mid-tier 1.
See, that was a caster curse.
Yeah. And Kalist getting caught there, ends up using his flash as well as they get mid-tower. It's a huge throw from KC.
A lot of gold in Kazi's pockets, 1.1k ahead. Vladdy trying to get something on this top lane. We'll be able to take this tier 1. Those 3 grubs in the mites helping him out.
I think Shayak should be here to clear, and you still have Rift Herald for Naknako as well.
I think he gets it.
Yeah, gets it. Yeah. There it is, Rift Herald on that bottom side as well, so you could look for a potential cross map here as Vitality, but there's a lot of Vitality members on the top side, so this is going to be a solo endeavor, it looks like, for Naknako.
I think that tower's low enough that a Rift Herald charge should
so.
just kill it off. It's hard to see from the mini-map, you kind of have to guesstimate, but yeah, that's definitely low enough. Rift Herald will get the charge in, Vitality will get their 2nd tower of the game. We'll probably even out the gold overall, as Naknako gets 300 to go and spend on whatever he pleases. 2 items though for Kazi. He's brought up that Ginsu's alongside the Kraken Slayer on him.
And he's going to be doing so much damage on the passive procs. It's going to be dangerous for KC.
Yike going in here. Redemption used the Shockwave follow-up. They were on a wall the whole time. Linces goes in with the cease and desist. Void Seeker from Kazi trying to find his mark, but a good Tempered Fate will lock Shayak and Kazi up. Kalist can't quite get the damage down onto Kazi. Shayak flashing out. Public execution. Dives in onto the Kaiser, who killer instincts across the wall. But Kana is having none of it. Chases him down. It's a double for the Ambessa.
Linces tried to go in to turn it around, but KC find it regardless. Now Naknako running for the hills. Should just be able to escape, but the rest of Vitality are crumbling around him.
I think I need to stop speaking because I just cursed Vitality. Like, now it's going to be Atakan for KC, and they're firmly the ones in control of this game again.
Now they are 2,000 gold lead with the Atakan. Be about 3.5k in total stats ahead of Vitality. Kind of reminiscent to game one, though. I'm just going to put this game. A huge lead for Vladdy and for Yike in that jungle mid. 1.2k ahead each. In fact, the only red gold lead is for Kazi as they look for Yike. Fleshy going in with the Magna Storm. There's the follow-up with the Hero's Entrance as well. Yike's going to get knocked up, but a great Temper Fate hits onto 4. Is it enough? Another Cyclone, cease and desist. They're locking down Yike, and he will fall. The shutdown goes over to Lincers. Kazi, though, now a little bit isolated from his team, goes in with a Killer Instinct, has to dodge away from Cosmic Binding and manages to do so. Slowed up, though, with an auto attack out of Targamas. Meanwhile, Kana continues to rain down on that top tier 2.
So it's a nice pick from Vitality coming over the wall. Lincers actually a little bit late because he didn't end up using that. You're kind of seeing again, it's that like confidence that we were praising Vitality for in game 1. They're not here in game 2. Whereas for KC, they look significantly stronger.
Getting control over this blue side jungle.
It looks like Vitality want to try to do the same play again, as they have a ward here onto Yike. He's no flash and ult now.
They jump onto Yike immediately. The World Ender coming out as Naka looks for the damage, and Yike falls. No Caretaker's Shrine enough from Targamas. And now Fleshy keeps Callista Bay, ignites him as well just to switch through the summoner spells. Shayak is up here, he's TP'd up. Vitality have a 5v4.
Great use of the map by Vitality, and Shayak, as you say, TPing in, it's Baron. But Nako wants to try and wrap around, he's not on vision.
Fleshy looking for that position up towards the top side. Has Hex Flash, no Magnet Storm. Kana stepping in there.
It's Kalista.
Torn. They dive onto Kalista, who has to flash away and use the cleanse. Next up is Kana. The shockwave doesn't hit anyone. Kana goes in with a public execution, but only hits onto Nako, and Kana falls for it. Shayak survives. There's honeypot for him as well. He wants to pick that up and continue in the fight. Has no TP. Vitality turn their eyes back towards the Baron. 7 seconds on Yike. He won't be up for this as Nako tries to keep Vladdy away. No shockwave. The movement speed from the command dissonance enough to get him out of the chains. Nako takes the honey boot. Lincers down low. Vladdy stepping in. Low mana on him. Vitality continue on the Baron. They'll secure it. Temper Fate just not in the nick of time. Vitality
playing the top side, using the fact that they had that small window on the map.
It's an Ocean Soul.
In the picture.
I think KC is just going to get this. You can see Chai trying to get in, but there is the Ocean Soul for KC. So in the end, a Baron for Soul going to stop you. A good Tempered Fate is going to stop you in your tracks. At least in game 1, they had to wait to hit their CC, but KC are not waiting. Hero's Entrance going down. Naku's already fallen. The Magna Storm will find a bunch, but the Temper Fate stops Kazi from interacting in the fight. Beautiful from Carmine Corp.
There was no carry for Vitality as the AD was taken out.
Looking for him. Cosmic Binding doesn't connect. The ball goes down, but Vladdy's not going to use the shockwave on only Naka with no real follow-up from the rest of his team. Kana still pushing through top
Fleshy.
while all of this happens. Fleshy looking for the Shadowing Strike. He's stunned up. Hero's Entrance coming out, but Fleshy's already dead. Shayak is met with a Cyclone as soon as he lands, and Kana's going to try and cut him off. Shayak flashes. The Justice Punch across the wall and gets onto Kazi again. He has to flash the wall as well. The Killer Instinct Shield, enough to keep him alive for now, but KC are on the warpath, and they'll find all the blood they want.
They're finding them everywhere. Vitality is trying to sniff out any sort of play they can, but Carmine Corp will not let them anywhere near this win.
And that's going to be at least the mid tower for Kalist. And it really feels like Vitality have lost all the momentum in this game going up against this Ocean Soul. They just don't have the tools that they need to actually win a fight. They get some poke here, and they can leverage control of this Elder. This Nash could be bait if KC are not able to get back to this Elder and try to get control.
Yeah, Vitality trying to play around the mid lane prior, didn't get as much of it as they wanted. There's a control ward behind them here as well, towards that bush that Kazi just walked past. TP's coming out from KC as they look to continue the play. Lincers has snuck all the way behind here next to the Razor Beaks. Put a bit of vision down. We'll see if KC ward their flanks, because often overlooked is a ward towards that red buff, and they haven't done it. So Lincers does have an avenue of attack. Shayak having to walk behind here. Lincers beginning to step forward. Shayak getting caught out, pops the stopwatch. Nako the target for Kana. Shayak in the middle of them, but already Kalista's unstoppable. And Vitality again just don't find a coordinated engage. A great Tempered Fate comes out from Targamas as they kill off Fleshy. Lincers has to flash and dash and try and get away, but Vladdy chases him down. The Elder only a cherry on the cake that KC have devoured. Kazi trying to escape. The killer instinct is anything but almost taken out. Kalist is having none of it. Won't let his enemy AD carry escape. Kana tanking the tower here as the chase continues. There's the Elder, but the Nexus lies in sight for KC.
And Vitality, try as they may, they did not have enough to close out game number 2 as KC take this game.
In dominant fashion, Carmine Corp will stamp their name into the scoreboard. 1-1 now between KC and Vitality.
KC coming on.
Lanes in isolation, sure, let's say that the Rise will always have a move, but I don't see a clear target. And that's my concern for Vitality's team comp.
Well, Vitality so far,
I don't think they actually, well, they clearly don't.
No flash now.
Yeah, Kazi doesn't really have an escape tool. Dodges away with just the movement, but the concussive blows will be enough to lock him up. Spell shield away from Mystic Shock isn't enough. Lince is diving forward, trying to kill off Targamas. Targamas hasn't procced the concussive blows. There it goes. Lince is dead as well. A great dive from KC. They'll find 2. Able to come out on top of it. Yike's going to be able to take this Drake. Great early start here for KC. 2 kills, the first neutral, grubs up in 2.
We're starting to see them at least bring it back. Vladdy, actually maybe I talked too soon.
Deathmark down on Vladdy's head, and here will go Pop. Shyke's the one to take it as Vitality get on the board in game 3 here for KC. Minster's going to find it hard to find an unabetted path in here. Deathmark's in, immediately exhausted, then jumps back. The root lands onto Yike, who has to jump away. Does land the smite on the Drake, and in the end... Oh, Flashy, no flash on him, pops the heal, Redemption coming down, there's the wild growth as well, but Flashy locked in the cage, and Lulu goes bye-bye. Yike, looking to see if Lincus overstepped, can jump across the wall, and he finds him. Lincus doesn't really have a way out, Kana flashes and screams him down. The Rift Herald will get the charge into the tower, Cataclysm down, but Shayak, the great wild growth, knocks Yike up. Ricochet's coming out from that Sivir, it's not going to be enough. Kana getting chased out, TP in, there's the Rune Prison. Kana, they just don't have the damage to work through him as of yet. TP out from Vladdy, 3rd Drake on the cards for KC.
I think Kana was trying to run back towards his mid tower, realized that one was gone, ends up joining with the rest of KC, but you called it, no damage. Not even to take down Targamas, who's able to hop away. And KC, again, so often the players that they've been trying to go on to are like Yike or Targamas because, well, they're the ones that are out in the open, but no Chayek.
We got feasted. Rupture doesn't quite hit. Yike's here, though. And the Cataclysm definitely finds its mark. The tower alongside it for KC. I'm just remembering game 1 where we said very similar things about Vitality's team comp, and then somehow they won the game.
We said they had a lot of CC.
We said they had it, but I was saying we did very easily for KC. And you feel that might just be the nail in the coffin. Recalls after pushing in that top side. The Drake already about to spawn. Lince is almost dead to the Arcane Storm. Fleshy will shield him up. Targamas on the front line. The Drake is being hit by the rest of KC. Targamas flashing away. Chayak trying to open up. He'll find one. Realm walk forward. Yike gets almost kills Lincus with the death mark away. Lincus dashes back in, gets the Cataclysm out. Chayak up towards the top side, found another. 3 members of KC are left alive, and Vitality are shepherding them into death. Kana the next target. Kalist trying to do what he can. Kazi falling lower. Yike can't get in. Kalist finds 2 though. Dashing forward with the arcane shift, and KC have turned the fight back in their favor. Kazi trying to spell shield. It's 3 for Kalist. He lands another Mystic Shot onto Fleshy, who has to flash it.
Thinking the fight must be over. The game is looking quite dire, and KC just got sold. But it's through Lincus with his fancy moves, Shayak and Knock on the back. I feel in general, I feel like a bit of a fool thinking that this would be close with how
Yike flashing for Glacial Bishop for the follow-up. They know that Shayak's the main target. Can't get back into the realm. Stunned with the concussive blows. The Arcane Storm and Kalist will kill him off. Great engage from KC. Pulls the trigger immediately. And now Baron is theirs if they so desire, and they definitely desire. Yike looking for more, gets onto Kazi, who doesn't have flash and just walks straight into KC again. He's dead. Kalist is dominating, and Vitality are left reeling.
I don't think we're getting to the 500 CS. I'm not gonna lie. I think KC want to be done with this game. Great engages from Yike again and again. Baron in their sights. Denial of entry by Vladdy. And this game is KC written all over it.
And a fantastic performance by Yike, as you said, Rob. Really showing why Jarvan is so high value into these immobile carries every time. Shayak Carsey doesn't have flash. Even Fleshy, he's punishing them. As now Knock will stay to get this mid tower.
He's going to die because there's a TP behind him from Kana as well, who is being chased out by Linsus. Maybe Kana can't get in range because
there's another TP. There's another TP.
There is another TP. Okay, yeah, he's probably going to die here. Yorick, they call him the Undertaker for a reason, but I think it is his eulogy that will be being sung. Kalist gets the kill.
It's extremely difficult, and through the added tankiness of this Mountain Soul, it's going to need a miracle.
Yeah, I mean, Kazi's dead again. Not really much you can do in that situation. Perhaps you could ask him to back away from the tower, but KC, every time they see him, they immediately jump in.
I think as Vitality this game, you're honest to yourself, and that you know KC are going to look to end the game here.
Yeah.
But going into game 4, you really need a composition that's easier to execute with some CC that sets you up for success, because they did not have it this game.
Well, it's definitely a difficult draft to navigate. Double inhibitors down from KC. They'll look for more. 17 seconds on Kazi. Vladdy just chipping away at that Nexus tower. The Cannon minions doing a lot of work on it as well. First Nexus tower down. Vitality still trying to defend. Kana can tank the tower for an absolute eon. The second Nexus tower falls as Yike dives onto Shayak. The only real damage left alive. Kazi comes back up and immediately is put between the walls of the Cataclysm. KC will take the game, even more dominant than game 3. A 10
hook, the man gets eaten anyway and saves, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, I think for KC's side, it's really about winning this early game. It's about snowballing through this Sinsao, through this Aurora.
Towards this top side, bot side going in favor of Vitality, and they're using it to invade. Vladdy trying to come across here. Shayak does have the Ignite from that Spell Thief. Smite going down, it's Linsus that secures it, then he dashes in with the Arctic Assault to play, back onto him means he has to flash, Wind becomes lightning and Linsus becomes dead. The follow-up onto Kazi as well with a Q3, it's 2 already! 2 KC and they're looking for more, tongue lash from Flesh. Targamas wasn't going to go for the hook, there we go.
Ike is here.
They put the Lantern behind and Fleshy's the one who's caught out, does have the flash, has thick skin as well, doesn't use either. Fleshy falls for the 3rd kill in the game, Shayak looking for a bubble, only hits onto a minion. Linsus on the Drake, has that permafrost propped on it. Should be able to get the smite. KC disengage. Good job from Vitality.
Because they know they're just taking so much poke from Vitality.
The curtain's open. Kalist takes 1 bullet. And the next one goes into Yike, who's stunned up. Crescent Guard coming out. He takes a quick nap in the river and takes the Lantern out of it. Manages to escape. Kalist, the new target, though, as Fleshy tries to get on top of him. Kalist sitting on purple-blue. Gravitum Infernum. The hook landing from Targamas. Glacial Prison's going to follow him up. There's the deadly flourish, and pop goes the Thresh. Taken out by Shayak and Vitality. Shayak flashing away. Linsus doing the same. The Infernum with the Moonlight Vigil, not enough from Kalist to get through Vitality. Deadly Flourish dodged away. Yeah, okay.
He's gone.
Okay, Deadly Flourish coming out as well. He's not going to die. Paddlestar out. Shayak dodging away from the death sentence and is devoured by Fleshy to make sure he survives the between 2 worlds from Vladdy. Kana trying to come in from the side as well. Yike going forward. Ripcord has been summoned by KC. They'll use it to charge into this mid-tier 1. Keeping Kalist topped up as well. That Severum helping out a ton as Shayak tries to put the damage across the wall. Fleshy looking for an Abyssal Voyage. Ripcord used to charge away, but Yike is dismounted, dashes back in, exhausted immediately. Fleshy with the thick skin, not enough. And Kalist will begin to open up. There's the Mikhails from Targamas to keep Kalist safe. A good hook landing onto Linsus. Nako now joining the party. The KC will settle for 1 and then walk towards the Drake.
The patience we saw in game 1 from Vitality just isn't here in game 4. They're trying to overforce in the plays in mid, especially Fleshy, and ends up costing Nakana trying to chase down Nako, but supporting the wings.
Linsus needs to be a little cautious here because an all-out would pull him across the wall. Kana, though, going to go for Nako instead, then dash forward, takes the Lantern out. Permafrost will hit the stun. They get the Drake, they get their
Just a chunk. Just a little bit of damage. They want to try to get the kills, and that's ultimately what ends up punishing them.
Onto Targamas, but it's not going to be able to follow up with anything else. The rest of his team still in mid lane.
And it does,
Kazi and Nako over there.
It does feel like this game's on knife's edge, but Vitality are not really able to contest how you'd want them to with a comp like this. You'd really want them to be fighting and contesting.
As the rest of KC barrel down mid.
And KC looking for mid push. Now they're going to start to collapse. Kana still half HP, does have the all-out, can try and separate Linsus from the fight. The death sentence dodged, Yike dumping in, Crescent Guard out, Linsus lands the smite. Alicon goes over to Vitality, Linsus needs to get the hell out of there. They're all retreating, the curtain's open though. Bubble onto Kalist, but it gets cleansed off immediately. The curtain's not enough. The root lands.
And then Shayak to be able to fling damage over the wall.
Nako, it's a death sentence. A Lantern to follow it. They're going to give it over to Kalist, who happily accepts the gold, and perhaps the mid lane tower alongside it. Fleshy looking for this. Lince is coming in, has that Glacial Prison. Kalist still has the cleanse. Death sentence wide. Kazi with the deadly flourish. Yike, Mikhail's immediately through the stolen away by Shayak. Now Kana is on top of the Zoe. He slept. KC turn off towards Fleshy. The first target all on his lonesome. Cleanse from Kazi. Moonlight Vigil coming out as well. The Gravitum, he can get the root. Yike's going to go for the chase, but flashes and misses. The wind becomes lightning. Still dashes forward with an audacious charge. Kazi trying to run for the hills. The fourth shot movement speed won't be enough to save him. He trades though for the enemy jungler, and that's Baron off the menu. The shot down for Kazi. Lince is trying to run, trying to escape. A good shot blast from Nako. Death sentence wide. KC still on the advance. Lince trying to get away, trying to use his top lane as some sort of support, and he might even escape. Kana still chasing the blast go, and Tofo's enough. The flash from Kana into...
They weren't able to get anything on the mid waves. That's really their point of contact, is trying to get some poke that'll actually stick on these mid waves in this open space. That makes it really difficult for the KC lineup, but when they're not able to get that, KC get everything.
Connect. Vladdy's going to be able to take a tower down towards this bottom side. Yike was here shadowing him to make sure that if Nako had stayed around, Nako would be donezo. Nako steps into the bush afterwards, has to burn the flash. Yike there for the follow-up. Nako down, KC get another.
A phenomenal pick by KC.
Into some darkness. They have a couple of wards just outside of the pit. Vladdy going to chunk out Linces a little bit, who's trying to get in here. The hook doesn't connect. Linces flashes into the pit, and immediately KC turn, but Linces burns down the Baron. The hook lands. Fleshy with a cleanse away. Kazi running for the hills. They just need to get these Barons out alive. Kazi and Shayak will survive with them, but now Yike still chasing forward. These sorts of fights paid off for them.
But they had the tools, they had the major cooldowns, but now...
Lince's hooked immediately. He's going to be devoured by flashes. They try and get him out. Knocked back by the Intopo, perfectly timed by Kana. And there's two more to add into that death note. Make it a third as Kazi falls. Shayak left standing, but for how much longer? Pops the exhaust onto Vladdy, uses the cleanse, takes the blast cone, dashes away. Vitality are looking for the mid lane tower at least. They land asleep onto Targamas, but the weirding enough to take out Shayak. Nako now running, but with 30 seconds left on the rest of his team, what base will he be running back to?
And KC will look to run down and get as much as they can here. Still long death timers on the carries of Vitality. And now with the Cloud Soul, Kalist is so damn fast with the Lantern as well. He needs to have no fears.
KC want to break open both of these inhibitor towers. Mid lane done. KC now set their sights on the bot.
I think they might be looking for the win. Kana's going to TP back into this. I mean, Shayak's still 20 seconds away. Do you take the 4v5? Do you go back? Do you spend your gold? KC posturing as if they want the win.
Nako has some good wave clear if he can get that accelerated flash or shock blast onto the back line here.
KC, they can see it in their eyes. 3-1 would be the scoreline. Kana's going to clear out that mid lane wave, but they do back away. Yike low. They decide to spend their money, and the curtains open. Targum is clipped with a bullet. Kana takes the next one. The third one for them to find a way back into this game. Nak is pushing out bot side to try and keep those super minions as far away from the Nexus towers as possible. Shayak looking for any angle that he can land a sleepy trouble bubble from, but they're just not opening up for him. Kalist absolutely melts the tower. Kazi gobbled up by Fleshy. Spat back out towards KC. The redemption down. Kazi will be healed up by it. Nako TPing in, but this is triple in here now for Carmine Corp.
Vitality are desperately trying to hold on, but their base is in tatters. And KC have their sights set on Madrid, have their sights set on that
at Worlds. KC will take the Baron. Vitality, I mean, are they even going to be able to step in here before it's gone?
They're trying.
Yeah, but Kana on the front line between worlds. The sleep on Vladdy. Almost enough to take him out, but he dodges away. Kalist kills off Kazi. Vladdy almost fell for it, but Vitality get the Baron. Sorry, KC get the Baron. Vitality get nothing. And now KC will march down with a man advances. Shayak being chased away by Kana. I don't think he's going to be able to get back in time. Does have the TP, but Kana continues to hound him and harass him in that blue side jungle. Yep, Shayak is down. It's 3v5 the defense for Vitality, but they just don't have the wave clear. KC, they took game one personally. They'll be going to Madrid. We'll see who they face on Monday. Vitality, their season ends here. KC continue to build the blue wall.